What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, well, it's everyone's first time here because this is the first video on the channel. So welcome to the first video ever on One More Run. So who am I? Honestly, just a really normal, average guy. I played collegiate golf and played professional golf. And honestly, my running journey probably started back then, but not in the fun way that it is now. Running was always just like a punishment. You did something wrong, you ran. You showed up late, you ran. You went to a workout, you ran. But it was never with this exciting, fun connotation. And I didn't really learn the freedom of running until I was probably, like 2 years ago in my low 30s. And now you know how old I am. So yeah, that's when I learned the freedom of running. And since then, it's just been a crazy journey. Just bringing community together, bringing my family together, bringing friends together, and really just been something that's brought me a lot of joy, being able to put on a pair of shoes and take off. I'm just your average guy, your average runner, going out on average miles. And hey, isn't that kind of most of us anyways? We're gonna bring you tons of shoe reviews, tons of gear reviews, fun training videos, and just hopefully this is a place that you love to come, hang out, get a little bit out of your world, maybe learn something and bring you some value. So that's who I am. But if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. There's not much to like and subscribe yet because there's really nothing here content-wise. But there will be, and we want to make sure that you know when my next video comes out, which is going to be next week. This is a first impression review today of the Hoka Mach 5, but there will be many more videos to come, and we'll be dropping them every single week. So make sure you hit that, I think they say, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when I drop the next one. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We are here today to talk about this shoe right here, the Hoka Mach 5. This is a shoe that I previously ran in the Mach 4 version, and it was probably one of the best shoes last year in 2021, and probably could be almost one of the best shoes still of this year because that shoe was awesome. It was light, it was snappy, it was bouncy, it just sort of had everything that you were looking for in a daily trainer, which is what this is, really just a lightweight daily trainer. And now with the Hoka Mach 5, you get nervous because you're not sure, is it gonna get better? Is it gonna get worse? Did they screw it up? And they did not screw it up. They somehow made something that was really great even greater. The greatest? Maybe not the greatest, but much greater. Just want to give a little disclaimer, this shoe was not given to me or sent to me by any company or anyone. It was purchased with my own money, and all my thoughts today are my own, so no one can tell me what I have to say about this shoe. So everything you hear today, you are hearing, and everyone's hearing for the very first time. Let's go over the specs. So it is a neutral road running shoe. It is neutral, but it's got a little bit of rigidity there. It's not so floppy that it's all over the place. And I'll explain why. A lot of that has to do with the midsole. But it's a neutral road running shoe coming in at 8.2 ounces in a men's size 9, which is really light. It's bordering race day light. You could totally race in this, and I'll tell you what I would use this shoe for at the end. But it's really, really light, and you feel it on your foot for sure. You've got 29 millimeters of stack in the heel, and you've got 24 in the forefoot for that classic Hoka 4 millimeter drop. It seems like all their shoes are right around 4 to 5 millimeters, and that's the difference between that 29 and 24. You've got early stage meta rocker down here, which really kind of pushes you through your stride. Let's go into the upper. What I really love about the upper is it's really form fitting. It's a really light upper. You can almost see through the holes. I don't know if you guys can see through the holes there, but you can almost see through the holes. It's extremely breathable. I live in South Florida, so it gets really hot down here, and to have a shoe that I can actually feel the breeze going through, trust me, like it's a massive difference down here. So that I really love. Also, laces are great. They're really simple. They didn't do anything too crazy. Believe me, you can mess up a lace and it is not messed up here. Probably one of my favorite things about the shoe is the tongue. If you guys have run in the Rincon 3, it's got a really short tongue, and it's too short. The laces almost climb up above it, and it just drives me crazy because that shoe is so good, and they just made such a short tongue. But whatever they did there, they fixed it because this tongue is absolutely perfect. They call it a lay flat tongue, and it is gusseted, which is great. And if you don't know what gusseted is, it just means that it's connected on the inside, which just gives you a little bit of a better lockdown. So we love that here on the channel. We love a gusseted tongue, and this one is literally one of the best tongues I think I've ever seen in a shoe. It's got this heel flare too, right here, which honestly just helps with your Achilles. Didn't have any rubbing, didn't have any irritation or blisters or anything. This thing was really smooth, and it didn't cause me any sort of problems at all. It actually was really comfortable, especially with this heel counter. It's on the sturdy side. It's definitely on the sturdy side, but it locks you in there really good, and you don't have any heel slippage. You don't have anything whatsoever in this shoe. So that was really great. And by the way, the colorway, I mean, I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the way the shoe runs, but I mean, come on, like this colorway is pretty legit. So that's the upper. Let's go down into the midsole. The midsole, you've got a combination here of two midsoles. So it's a dual layer. You've got this layer of Pro Fly Plus, and you've got a layer of regular EVA. This is rubberized EVA actually on the bottom. And that allows to also not have any rubber on the bottom, which we'll talk about when we get to the outsole. But what you experience in this shoe is a squishy step in feel, because this is probably the softest material that I maybe have ever seen in a Hoka shoe, and maybe most shoes. It is, like, guys, it's really soft. But that feels so good. When you put your foot in, you get that initial step in and it feels fantastic. And in order for that to not be so just marshmallowy, like sink in quicksand type soft, they added this bottom layer, which is pretty firm, but it provides that sort of snappy like feel that you need, and that's what you get from this shoe. Like this midsole, the way that it feels out on the run, and I've got like about 10 miles in this shoe, so this is just a first impression. We'll do a full review, which will come out probably later this month. Probably another couple weeks, we'll do a full review when we get to about 50. But this shoe, after 10 miles, like it's light, it's snappy, it's responsive, but this squish that it gives you, it's not like a shoe that you're thinking it's firm or it's hard. It is so squishy, and then you get the pop of that firmer midsole, which you can see right here. So if you look at this, you can see the soft Pro-Fly there in the blue, and then this is all that rubberized EVA. So there's absolutely no rubber on this shoe at all whatsoever. So that actually leads me to the outsole. So let's talk about it. It is a rubberized EVA. You see they've got some flex grooves cut out here and a little trampoline effect down here where the Pro-Fly is. And it's a really good outsole. In the Mach 4, it was exactly the same almost. And I'll probably bring my Mach 4. I've got one in the closet that I beat it pretty good. You'll see almost the same thing underneath. It's a really good outsole in the sense that it's smooth. I'd probably say one downside to this outsole is that there is no rubber. So in terms of the shoe maybe lasting long enough, it's going to be tough. It probably could go a little longer, Hoka, if you could throw some rubber on here strategically placed. That would be really nice. But yeah, there just isn't a lot of rubber coverage on here because it's just that EVA foam. So will it go the distance? I'm going to say it's going to go like 300 to 400 miles. I mean, if you want to stretch it longer than that, you can post a picture down below. That would be great, that we can see what that looks like. But I'm going to say 300 to 400 miles is a fair thing for this shoe, and honestly, it's totally worth it. Like this shoe it's just really fun to run in so far. I mean, it's only 10 miles and I get excited to put it on. And for me, that would be the definition of an awesome shoe. You can have all the great specs in the world, but I want to be excited to put it on my foot and for it to make me want to go run. That's a shoe that I can really get behind. So that is what it's done for me so far. Also, if you're out there and you care, it is vegan and it's made with recycled materials, which is cool because, hey, we love vegan stuff at this channel and helping the environment. So yeah, vegan. So to wrap up my thoughts of the Hoka Mach 5, it is an awesome shoe. My drawbacks are really simple. It's just that outsole. If there's a little bit of rubber on it, I think it will last a little bit longer. So far after 10 miles, I mean, you guys can see it's not bad at all. It's just 10 miles. We'll see how it goes when we put in the paces and put in more miles. And the last drawback, it does run a little big. I don't believe, for me, I could say this is true to size. I normally wear a size 11 in running shoes to give me just a little bit more room. The size 11 in this, I was swimming, and what that did is it caused these two sides to have to be cinched down so much, too much. So I went down a half a size, and honestly, it fits perfect. So if you're out there, you're gonna order it, I'd recommend going a half size down. If you can get to a local run shop, try them on, but I would say most likely you're gonna end up going a half size down. So those are my cons. And the pros, honestly, this is a fun, lightweight, snappy, energetic shoe that I just wanna put on like time and time again. So far, if you couldn't tell that I love it, We're obviously going to have to put in more mileage to see kind of where we're at. And we'll do a full review of this shoe really soon. Lastly, price. This shoe is priced at $140, which is honestly a really good price. You get a lot for your shoe here. This is a daily trainer that honestly, what would I use it for? I would probably do a lot of things in it. Absolutely a daily trainer. Absolutely a tempo day, speed day. You want to take this on the track and just rip some repeats 100%. You could almost do anything in the shoe. Race in the shoe for sure. For a full marathon, you might want a little more understep, a little more cush to kind of protect those legs. If it's a full marathon, half marathon, absolutely. Your local 5K, 10K, park run, 100%. This is the shoe that you could totally use for a lot of things. So I could see someone picking up the shoe and running, everything from their training block up to the race, including the race. The only thing that I maybe wouldn't use it for is an easy day. You could. Believe me, you could. There's enough here with the Pro 5 Plus. You could use it for an easy day. I would just be too tempted to go too fast on an easy recovery day. So you might want to have another shoe for that. But this shoe could cover so much of what you need in your shoe rotation. It's just a great shoe, and at $140, I think they priced it really well because there's a lot of shoes out there right now that are priced at $150, $160, $170, $180, and I would choose this over that like 10 times over. So that's our first run impressions, our first impressions review of the Hoka Mach 5. Thank you for stopping by and listening all the way to the end. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to pick up a pair of the Hoka Mach 5s, there's going to be a link in the description. You can click that and pick them up. It doesn't really do much for me. It just helps support the channel, and I hope that you guys have a great experience in the shoe, and we will be coming back with a full review. That's a wrap for today. As always, remember that I know you have just a little bit more in you, so get out there, dig deep, and get in one more run. See you next time.